Catholic News Roundup is brought to you in part by PewSitter.com, your online Catholic newspaper for the third millennium, CatholicMediaCoalition.org, in line with the Church, online with the world.
And TheAmericanCatholic.com, politics and culture from a Catholic perspective.
Hello and welcome to today's edition of Catholic News Roundup. I'm Matthew McAuliffe. Sex and starvation, human rights violations in undeveloped African countries are common enough without having United Nations personnel adding to the problem. A WikiLeaks cable from January of 2010 reveals that UN peacekeepers in the Ivory Coast were having sex with underage girls in exchange for food and other basic necessities. The U.S. diplomat author of the cable wrote, quote, "Sexual exploitation and abuse problems among UN personnel is more extensive than is recognized," end quote. United Nations spokesperson Michael Bernardo says that since 2007, UN personnel in the Ivory Coast alone have been accused of sexual abuse on 42 occasions, and other incidents have happened in Kosovo, Bosnia, East Timor, and the Congo, among others. Homosexual brainwashing. Californian parents are frantically concerned watching as so-called alternative lifestyle education crests the hill with the coming year, becoming active in January. You may remember the law in California mandating public schools to teach the so-called contributions of lesbian, gay, bisexual, and transgender individuals to history. Randy Thomason, president of SaveCalifornia.com, a website that campaigns for children and families, says, quote, "This is basically the gay activists kidnapping the brains of the kids, and the parents have no say whatsoever," end quote. Textbooks for classes won't be altered until 2015, but as of January 1st, 2012, children in California will be taught as early as kindergarten that same-sex attraction and transgender surgery is perfectly natural. Win a baby. From the UK to Canada, offering a baby as a consumer prize in a contest is becoming more and more popular. You may remember the in vitro fertilization lottery in the United Kingdom earlier this summer. Now a radio station in Ottawa, Canada is, quote, "swooping in like a big beautiful stork to make your dreams of changing diapers a reality," end quote, according to its website. Jim Hughes, the president of Canada's Campaign Life Coalition, says the contest, quote, "turns a child into a consumer product and encourages the trade in innocent human life," end quote. The woman who wins the contest, put on by the new Hot 89.9 radio station, has 12 months to redeem the so-called fertility treatment procedure, valued at $35,000 Canadian. Stay with us. We'll be back in just a few seconds.
Catholic News Roundup is brought to you in part by NewOxfordReview.org, the voice of Catholic Orthodoxy, in print and on the web, and RenewAmerica.com, expanding the influence of America's grassroots in the cause of freedom.
Obama's anti-Catholic bias. Obama's American embassy officials in Poland are targeting the Catholic Church as the source of what they call homophobia in the country when it comes to pushing the homosexual agenda. Among the latest onslaught of WikiLeaks cables released recently was a report for the White House labeled "sensitive but unclassified" that says, quote, "The Catholic Church plays a significant role in the formation and propagation of anti-gay attitudes in Polish society, especially in rural areas," end quote. According to LifeSite News, the cable notes that homosexuality has a long way to go as a dominating force in Poland, but will eventually rise as Poland's economic dependence on the rest of Europe continues to grow. You can read more about what the American government has to say about homosexuality in Poland on our resource page by clicking the link right over here. No place like home. A town in Germany is saying that a visit by the Pope, a native German, is not an event of, quote, "overwhelming public interest," and are refusing to publicize his scheduled visit on their billboards. The Associated Foreign Press says a Roman Catholic organization is being told the billboards in question are only allowed to be used for elections, and that using them to advertise Benedict XVI's visit would make this town look ugly and might cause accidents by distracting people. The issue has been brought to administrative court, which ruled in favor of the town's authorities, but the Catholic Credo Association plans on appealing the case before the Pope visits on September 22nd. I'm Matthew McAuliffe. Thanks for tuning in. Be sure and tune in tomorrow for your daily dose of Catholic News Roundup right here on RealCatholicTV.com. And be sure to check out The Vortex today. It's not just The Vortex. Thanks for tuning in. Be sure to tell all your friends about us. And as always, God bless.